No, Captain Everspark. The return of Rudy. 8 engine rooms and a landing craft boost node, which means your landing crafts will now max out at level 26, giving them a troop capacity of 30, which means 2 mechs, 2 cryo tanks, 2 rocket choppers, 2 scorchers, 2 critter cannon MK2s, 2 lasertron MK2s, 2 heavy choppers, and 2 rainmakers per landing craft. This will be your sneak peek and breakdown for Boom Beach Warship Season 68 Extended Festivities. Let's do this. Good morning, good afternoon, and yes, good evening, Skull Army and friends. It's your boy, your friendly neighborhood Skull Crusher, coming right back at you with another Boom Beach video. And in today's video, sneak peek and breakdown for Season 68 Extended Festivities. Quick disclaimer, I am on the developer build account, which is a private server lent to me by Supercell for the purpose of testing out new features and updates to then showcase to you, the Skull Army and friends. Greetings, Commander. We're heading for a longer cruise, so we decided to pack all the stuff left over from the Proto-Troop Cup and add it to the tech tree. We will again need more engine power, 8 engine rooms, and this time we even had to extend the landing crafts to fit everything. That is your landing craft boost node. Honestly, I think this is probably one of the biggest offensive changes to warships since the introduction of Seekers. 2 heavy choppers, 2 rocket choppers, 2 of whatever meat shield you can think of, and trust me, we've got a lot of them on the tech tree this season. You will be able to have per landing craft, okay? Game breaking, might even be warship breaking. This might be a pretty heavy offensive season, but once we do get into the season stats, you see that we are lacking on quite a few things. So we're going to begin with the season duration here, the length of Season 68. 4-week season. The season will begin on Monday, November the 25th, right after Proto Mega Crab ends, and it will be running right up until Sunday, December the 22nd. So at least we don't have to worry about warshipping on Christmas. We will be moving into the CRV, the chest rank values for Season 68. Now, since this is a 4-week season, we will have chest rank values that do reflect a 4-week season. Your CRV right here. Moving into the season stats for S68. So this is where things get real, and I mean, yes, they get real. So I want to point out first that we've just touched on the fact that we do have our landing craft boost node. So this is huge. This is going to be absolutely huge. Troop capacity of 4. Once you max your landing craft out at 26, you'll be able to give it 4 more, which means 2 of all your wildest desires. You know, heavy choppers. Did you ever think we'd be able to have 2 heavy choppers per landing craft? Well, now's the time. Our Season 68 will be the time. But I gotta point out some negativities with regards to this. So touching on the season stats here. So these are your base stats. Now, yes, there is a ton of multi-nodes that will let you plug and play and alter your stats as needed. As you can see, you know, we've got GBE plus 50, troop damage plus 30, and troop health plus 30. But remember that GBE plus 50%. So your base stats this season for your troop health, your troop damage, your defensive building damage, and your building health will all be plus 100%. So those are your base stats on the tech tree. That is a dedicated node to that boost. Now, of course, there will be multi-nodes that will offer additional boost for you to plug and play, but we'll get to that later. Now, your gunboat energy. So considering Supercell has really amped up the offensive power this season, especially with the introduction of the landing craft boost node, there's a little bit of a catch. They kind of they kind of shafted us on the gunboat energy. So this GBE node right here, and I believe that is in what? So that's 2, that's 3, that's, yeah, it's in 3 ER. This is the only base stat GBE node on the tech tree, which means your base stats for gunboat energy is plus 50%. Okay, keep that in the back of your mind. Okay, if you want to drop 8 landing crafts with 2 heavy choppers per landing craft, that is 16 GBE per landing craft. Do the math, 16 times 8. You're not going to have enough gunboat energy, at least just with the base GBE stat, and even maxing your gunboat to deploy a full squad of heavy choppers, rocket choppers, mechs, you know, any of the proto tanks, and yes, we've got 4 of them on this tech tree here. You're going to have to add some additional gunboat energy, and that's where these multi-nodes, these additional boost stat nodes will come in handy. So again, here in, I believe, 4 engine room, pretty much a couple nodes after your landing craft boost node, you will have your first, well, one of your first GBE nodes available on the tech tree. So this is plus 50%, okay? This is going to be huge here because with your base stat of plus 50 and now your gunboat energy plus 50, well, now your GBE is at 100%. But the only other gunboat energy that will be available this season is right after 7 ER. That's 7 ER. That's right. That's 8 engine room right there. So right after 7 engine room, we do have another multi-node that does offer boosts, and this is your second GBE boost that will be available for Season 68. That's gunboat energy plus 60%. So with the previous plus 50% node, and of course your base stat of 50% GBE, your max GBE this season, not including your gunboat, will be 50-50. That's 100 plus 60. That's 160 gunboat energy. But that's at the cost of sacrificing any troop health or troop damage on those same multi-nodes. So very, very exciting. And another thing that I need to point out with, at least with regards to the landing craft boost node being able to hold 2 heavy choppers per landing craft, 2 rocket choppers per landing craft, you got to keep in mind your reserve size here. So when you first unlock any of your meat shields here, your troops will have a reserve size, and that reserve size defines the number of troops that you have available to deploy for your warship battles. So when you just unlock your heavy choppers and you do unlock your landing craft boost node, if you do not upgrade your heavy chopper or whatever your meat shield is, you will not be increasing your reserve size. So the max amount of heavy choppers you'll be able to have out is 11. Now remember, if you want 2 per landing craft, that's 16 heavy choppers. Now how do I get to 16 heavy choppers on my landing crafts? You gotta increase the reserve size. You gotta at least get, I believe, your heavy chopper to tick 3. Anything above tick 3, I believe, will give you a reserve size of 16 or more. If you max it out, it does give you a reserve size of 20. So just to be on the safe side, whatever meat shield, whatever proto tank you are planning on using or at least loading up on your landing crafts, you gotta at least get them to tick 3 to at least have the reserve size able to deploy every single troop. But remember, due to the lack of gunboat energy, you might not be able to deploy a full squad of heavy choppers, rocket choppers, critter cannon MK2, lasertron MK2, cryo tanks, rainmakers, you name it. And that's not to mention 2 scorchers as well, 16 scorchers. There's so much to think about for this season, just with regards to the landing craft boost node, and of course the fact now that we can have 2 of each of these meat shields on the landing craft. So you're going to have to plug and play, figure out which direction you want to go in if you are going to go full squad on your heavy choppers, your rocket choppers. It is very, very exciting. And then there's our boy Rudy. And you do got to pay a little bit of, actually, you got to pretty much pay a tax to unlock any of these meat shields here. So say goodbye to any of this if you want your rocket chopper. You know, say goodbye to any of this if you do want to get that critter cannon. You know, say goodbye to any of this if you do want to pick up your, I think that's the lasertron MK2. Seekers, luckily there is no tax. There is no penalty for the Seekers. That is a straight path right there. Remember, Skull Army, stay hydrated. Delicioso. And remember, this is the penalty you're going to have to pay to play your heavy choppers. So I think you're really going to have to pick which meat shield you want to play if you are going to go 2 of each on the landing crafts. And of course, for the rainmakers as well, you got to say goodbye to some season stats. Thank God that we don't have a lack of gunboat energy here if we do want to pick the rainmakers. And then of course, going into 8 engine room, and that's right, this is the second time Boom Beach Warships has introduced 8 engine rooms for warships here. All the tech past 8 ER is literally just an offensive powerhouse. There's one defensive node, and that's this multi-node right over here. It is a proto multi-node, which will offer you 2 microwaver 3s, 2 hot pot 3s, or 2 laser beam 3s, which is phenomenal. But the majority of your season stats, your boosts, are after 8 engine room. So going into 8 ER, we've got troop damage right there. Branch down, we've got building damage. Branch off to the left, we do have remote defibrillator. Let's say from the troop damage, you want to go up top. Well, now we have our proto multi-node, and then, of course, a little bit more troop health going left, a little bit more building health going left, and then pretty much I'm going to say the last node on this tech tree is a remote hack. So we've got proto-troops. We've got limited gunboat abilities. We even have, right at the very beginning in 2 engine room, look at that, clone rifleman. We've got the hidden warrior. Check out this multi-node here, a limited gunboat ability multi-node in 2 engine room, drones, deployable turret, crystal shield projector. I can see that crystal shield projector coming in handy with the hidden warriors if anybody is going the direction of warriors. But this tech tree is very, very exciting. I also do like the fact that we have tons of penalty nodes, meaning that you as a player are going to have to make some serious and crucial decisions on what penalties you're going to forfeit, what penalties you're going to give yourself if you do want to play any of these meat shields to have 2 per landing craft. And again, it's not even a meat shield, but the only troop that you really don't have to pay a penalty for that is up there with the meat shield is the Seeker. It's actually a fairly nice node right there. 2 MGs, 2 flamethrowers, or 2 snipers. Very, very exciting here. So a lot going on with this tech tree. And honestly, let me know in the comments what your initial thoughts are of the tech tree for Season 68 Extended Festivities. Now we're going to kind of dive on into the deck layouts from 2ER all the way through 8 engine room. Now this is your first look at 2ER here. There's your first look at your 2ER tech. I mean, come on, Private Bullet and Brick are readily available in 2 engine room. We've got, the 2 meat shields of heroes available in 2 engine room. So I can see a lot of players picking up Bullet early. Now I'm wondering how the Bullet and Clone Rifleman Swarm are Bullet and Hidden Warrior attacks. Remember, your Hidden Warriors, they're invisible. They are hidden. They only get attacked when they start dealing damage. Now, they will take damage from mines if you do run over them. But aside from that, once they actually lock onto a building or defense and start dealing damage, that's when they are actually visible and exposed to the defenses. So there's a lot of strategy with the Hidden Warriors. A lot of good tech available in 2 engine room. I mean, already for defenses, machine gun and flamethrower starting. And then, of course, we've got sniper, mortar, and mines all readily available. Not to mention that we do have our first proto multi-node also readily available in 2 engine room with Sky Shield, Damage Amplifier, and Grappler 3. So much goodness, and that's just 2ER. So Skull Army, this is your first look at 2 engine room for Season 68 Extended Festivities. We're going to have the rest of the engine room layouts right here. Boom goes the dynamite. Goes the dynamite. Best Seeker hits in 5ER. These deck layouts, they look pretty standard, nothing crazy, but again, 8 engine room is new, second time ever out of 68 seasons of Warships that we've seen the introduction of 8 engine rooms. Skull Army and friends, if you have made it this far into the sneak peek video for S68, please do not forget to leave a like. It does mean the absolute world to me. It does help the channel grow, and yes, of course, it does appease our YouTube algorithm overlord. That being said, don't forget to leave a comment and let me know what you are most looking forward to or what you're not most looking forward to, what you like, what you think is stupid. Let me know what your thoughts are on Season 68 Extended Festivities. I'm very excited for the 4-week season. I'm very excited for the fact that it's going right up until Christmas. I also like the fact that we do have the break, the void during the Christmas break, but now I got to work out my math here and some numbers here because we might have Season 69 starting very close to New Year's, whether New Year's Eve or New Year's Day. So Skull Army and friends, Boom community, thank you all so much for the peace, the love, and respect. We will be wrapping up today's sneak peek video. That landing craft boost. It's going to be game-breaking. This right here, probably the biggest offensive change to warships since the introduction of Seekers. But absolute insanity. I'm looking forward to it. I hope you are looking forward to it as well. I will catch you all on the seas for Proto Mega Crab, and of course for the season premiere of Boom Beach Season 68 Extended Festivities. My friends, Skull Army, it's now time to make like a Tom and cruise. We'll catch you on the next one. Best of luck for the start of Season 68 Extended Festivities. Peace!